Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thank you so much for starting the week with us. It is Pat Gray Unleashed, 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, Brent, where you'll find a brand new bingo card pinned to the top of the page, which starts out with, in the upper left-hand corner,
randomly shot at civilians.
Right, not that part.
Razed villages in fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan.
That part. Mm-hmm. Raised villages in a fashion reminiscent of Genghis Khan. So, John Kerry saying that. Jeffy shares some clickbait. Puddin'. We lost him. Some sad music, sappy music playing during a sad story.
Yeah.
Just to get you in the mood. I'm mostly vegetarian. Dang it! Oh, dang! That whole thing. This from the preacher? Is this from the preacher?
Please get out.
Yes.
Get out of this property.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
I don't care what you have to say. Out. Out.
My hero.
Out of this property, you nutties.
Get out.
Out.
Then that's followed by no. Nuh-uh. Keith shares an animal video.
Aww.
Wait, what? Then Justin Trudeau talking about how he's going to save the planet by eliminating his bottled water intake.
Do you have that? Or are we going to need to find the video for that? He's got it. Thank you, Rob.
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of when we have water bottles.
When we have water bottles.
Plastic. Away from plastic towards paper. Like drink box water bottles sort of things.
Drink box water bottles sort of things. You know what he's talking about. The drink box water bottle, thing.
Does he know what he's talking about?
No, clearly does not. Put that in your pipe. Perhaps smoke it. Although that's not part of the square. Then we've got. That's interesting, Ivan. That's interesting. Oh, that's actually the
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin himself doing that, saying that. Let's just see if I can find it real quick.
By the way, if you do play bingo and you do get, the 5 in a row, you call 888-900-3393. And if you're the first person through, then you get to spend
then you win
$35 in the Pat Gray shop.
Exactly.
When can we take some calls, Ivan?
Whenever we want.
Do we have calls that are on there now?
No calls yet. No calls yet.
What number do people call to get on the air, Ivan? Do we have that number?
It's right there.
No, do I have the call number in front of me? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's interesting. Interesting.
That's interesting. We've added the Ivan part because you got to know he's talking to Ivan.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting. So that's interesting. When Alec Baldwin says it, that's a square. Hit you right where you live. And we go to the next line. Jeffy talks about a TV show. Clubbing baby seals.
Aww.
Then...
now, Justin's got this if you don't have it at the ready.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
I have it, I think. Should. No, hang on. There.
How dare you?
There it is. How dare you, from Greta. Irregardless.
How are we going to do that, though?
I don't know.
Because somebody's going to have to fall on the sword there and use a word that is not a word. I don't care what Webster says.
Manawa ni Arawa. One of our squares. And, of course, Nancy Pelosi's famous. I just love this thing because it's not even true if she would have said it right. You can scream, well, not
because the Constitution does not say that a person can yell wolf in a crowded theater.
Of course, the actual thing is fire that everybody. You can't scream fire in a crowded movie theater. Actually, no, you can. You can. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, why would you want to?
It's not against the law. Gobble up or down. Douchebag. Keith sings country.
Boy, I had to be inspired, though.
And then, of course, this crazy lib screaming in her car.
Your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Could this year get any
fun?
Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021.
Right, so inconsiderate.
Right.
She's so inconsiderate.
Don't go dying on us now.
But she did.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened. She did exactly what this very sweet young woman didn't want her to do. And she did it anyway. Really sad, isn't it? Really, really sad. Keep in mind there's probably a boyfriend. Well, maybe not. Maybe there just isn't. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. Who knows how she rolls? I don't know.
Let's not suspend belief.
You're saying she probably couldn't snag a significant other?
That's what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying, isn't it?
That's
Just
what I'm
gut check. Stop.
Thank you. That's good advice. Just gut check. Stop. Right there, Keith, if you would, please. All right. 888-900-3393. This is very exciting. The Global Citizen Concert for global COVID awareness is coming right up. It's going to happen. When is it happening? Oh, okay. Saturday, May 8th on ABC, CBS, Fox, YouTube, and iHeartMedia radio stations. And the iHeartMedia app, or the iHeartRadio app. 8 o'clock Eastern, except for Fox, which will air it at 11 Eastern. So I guess they're gonna tape it and play it back. Now, the host is going to be Selena Gomez. Also, Jennifer Lopez will be there. The Foo Fighters, H.E.R. Do you know that band?
I don't know.
H.E.R. Anybody know?
No, look it up.
Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam, all joining forces for this. I can't. When was the last time you heard from Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam? COVID-19 spoken, you didn't say.
I think we just did. Eddie?
Yes, it's we, Keith. Jeremy said another suicide song.
You much of a Pearl Jam fan, are you?
Yeah, I'm a really big Pearl Jam fan.
Obviously.
Yeah, I love them. I love them.
And so they're doing a concert?
Yes.
To make us aware of COVID? I mean, I don't know if you've been on this
Nobody's
planet
heard about it.
for the last 15 months.
I don't know why they haven't said something about this before now.
But now we're going to be aware.
You believe it? The concert to reunite the world. Okay.
Here we go.
Selena Gomez said, I'm honored to be hosting Vax Live, the concert to reunite the world.
There we are.
Yeah.
So it's a get your vaccine
It's a part of
concert?
the vaccine thing, yeah. This is a historic moment to encourage people around the world to take the COVID-19 vaccine when it becomes available to them. Call on world leaders to share vaccine doses equitably and to bring people together for a night of music in a way that hasn't felt possible in the last year. I can't wait to be a part of it. That's so exciting. That's great. She's made me really excited about it. You know, as a global citizen.
Yeah.
Who's such a fan of the vaccine.
You think that concert will have the safety seal?
The Well Health Safety Seal?
Safety seal? Because
I
otherwise,
sure hope so.
I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it if they don't. Yeah, I know I'm not safe to watch it if they don't have it. Here's some of the goals of the concert.
Oh, we have some goals. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
Increase donations of vaccine doses to low-income nations. Okay. Build vaccine confidence and promote vaccine uptake, helping to ensure access for everyone, everywhere. That's very, very thoughtful of them. Number 2, call on philanthropists and corporations to donate enough dollars for doses to help vaccinate the more than 27 million heroic health workers that are on the front lines in the poorest countries that need access to the vaccine most. Call on governments, corporations, and philanthropists to invest in additional. So all this is about is twisting the arms of people to try to get them, I guess, to vaccinate the third world, right?
Yeah.
An additional $22.1 billion to get 2 billion vaccine doses and other medical tools to the poorest countries. Disseminate financial commitments to regional responders supporting health, education, hunger, equity, and climate efforts.
Here we go. The Trojan horse.
Believe this. Encourage pharmaceutical companies to commit to selling COVID-19 vaccines at a production price. Earning profits at the expense of human lives will impede progress. And build vaccine confidence by educating and empowering audiences to get answers to their top questions about the COVID-19 vaccines. You know, it would help if people would stop dying from the vaccine injections.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little thought that I had over the weekend. I thought, how do we get more people to take this? Well, if less people die from it, yeah, I think that would help.
Yeah, and you know how we save at least one life is by not taking it. Because you can't die from it if you don't take it. Yeah, right. And honestly, they've seen that the big roadblock for the COVID passport worldwide is these third world nations. Because if they can't get it, then they're not going to be able to enforce it globally. So that's exactly what this concert is for.
Yes.
It's to make sure that we can all get on board with the COVID passport because we're going to make sure that third world nations are getting the vaccine. The vaccine.
COVID-19 passports are the way to go.
Wait, COVID-19 passport. What's that, Eddie?
They're the way to go.
They're the way to go?
They're the way to go. I mean, how many times do you have to clearly put it to you before you finally get it?
Yeah, I think that was the hidden track on 10, the Pearl Jam album.
Yeah, it might be. Do you actually have the Pearl Jam 10 album?
Yeah, and I have verses. And
so you are actually a Pearl Jam fan, apparently. You were at one time?
I mean, I like some of their stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a...
How could you not? Teenage angst. I hate my parents. I've had a crappy life.
They didn't hate their parents.
Yeah, they hate their parents.
Jeremy hated his parents. Jeremy hated everybody. I don't know that.
Wasn't that their thing, though, that everybody's... they were abused, everybody's abused, all their songs are about abuse?
Hold on, let me go through the list here.
98% of them. All right.
I mean, there is a common thread in there.
There is a common thread.
But, they do a good job with more mellow songs, like Old Woman Behind a Counter in a Small Town is a good one.
Oh, I love that.
I know you do.
I love it.
There's I Wish that came out later, or Wish List or something like that. That's a good one. They've got some mellow songs that aren't about killing people.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
So we named two.
We'll have to bust those out.
I got to 2 of them.
You got to 2. A whopping 2. That's pretty good. Their catalog is probably 100 or more. But you got 2. So nice job.
We got there.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of vaccines, vaccinations, making people understand how important they are. I mean, this has nothing to do with that. So,
wait. I'm sure we could find something there. You want to talk about?
I was actually going to go to Maxine. I was thinking Maxine.
Can we get a vaccine?
That's not what she's doing.
A Maxine vaccine where we don't have to listen to her crap? I can't take it.
Oh, it's so bad. Remember when she hammered Trump? This was after she incited everybody, telling them to get into everybody's faces. What do you think is going to happen when they get into people's faces? You think that's a way to promote peace and love? I don't think so. Anyway, she was out doing it again. She went clear to Minnesota to rile up the crowds.
But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that will say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away.
And not just manslaughter, right? I mean...
Oh, no, not manslaughter. No. This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder.
Congresswoman, what happens if we do not
as far as she's concerned.
What we just told? What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens? What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street. And we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational.
More confrontational.
We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
I see. So we got to get more people in there being more confrontational. Tell me that's not inciting violence. Of course it is. And when the violence breaks out, Is anybody in the media, the mainstream media, going to look back to this moment and say, remember what Maxine Waters did? She incited violence.
I mean, it's a fun little game. If you plug in what these radicals are saying and you put those into the mouth of Donald Trump, how would the press react?
Oh, my gosh. That's all they'd be talking about. It is all they'd talk about. CNN story every top of the hour would be that. Wow. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Rough Greens. Been talking about this for quite a while now. Rough Greens is a supplement. It's a powder that you sprinkle over your dog's food. It's really simple to do. My dog loves it. So do Glenn's and Stu's. But with that simple act, you're providing your dog with essential vitamins and minerals, probiotics, omega oils, all of that kind of stuff that makes them healthier. Most dogs love this stuff right out of the gate. Mine certainly did. But we have heard stories about some picky dogs who take a while to adjust to it. So the first thing we'd like to find out is, will your dog like it enough to eat it? And that's why they want to send you a free bag of Rough Greens right now. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. Rough Greens, go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFF greens.com. Or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Pat Ray.
Okay, the BLM co-founder, Patrisse Cullors. We had a story last week. She's just gone on a real estate buying spree, buying 5 homes, 4 homes, I guess, all across the country. Seems like, a lot of buying for somebody who's at the helm of, a nonprofit organization?
Marxist.
And a Marxist. Yeah. And a Marxist.
Are trained Marxists. Are trained Marxists.
Excuse me?
Are trained Marxists.
Trained Marxists. Okay. Trained Marxists who seem to be taking full advantage of capitalism, although I don't know what job she has that is really successful. I guess the BLM co-founding thing is enough, since BLM's been donated to the tune of almost $100 million now. You don't suppose she's taken a few of those dollars?
No.
Do you? No.
Why would you suppose that?
Maybe had a hefty salary along the way? Anyway, she explains why owning multiple extravagant homes doesn't betray her Marxist principles.
Also a critique, though, from the left that would say, if you are a trained Marxist, if we're talking about a certain kind of radical politic, that extravagant homes of any sort or multiple properties of any sort is itself contradictory to the ideology that you hold. And so it's not about having money per se, but that it's about, about property per se, but it's about there being a potential contradiction between your expressed politics and your lived practice.
A critique.
There you go.
Sure.
In other words, you're a
and
freaking
I think
hypocrite.
That is a critique that is wanting. And I say that because
it's a critique that's wanting.
The way that I live my life is in direct support to Black people, including my Black family members, first and foremost. And for so many Black folks who are able to invest in themselves and their community, they choose to invest in their family. And that's what I've chosen to do.
I see.
I have a child. I have a brother that has severe mental illness that I take care of.
A brother.
I support my mother.
Support your mother.
And I support many other family members of mine. And so I see my money as not my own. I see it as my family's money as well.
That is unreal. Unlike every other capitalist on the face of the earth, none of them want anything for their families. They don't. Their money's all about them.
She's got to do a better job of spinning.
Yeah, that's.
Besides,
bad.
isn't the government supposed to take care of all those people in her life?
It seems like it. Yeah, if you're a Marxist, yes, yes. Wow, that's pathetic.
That was a weak defense.
Yeah, I wonder how long it took her to come up with that, because she had to see this stuff online, so she knew the question was coming eventually. Yeah. And in fact, they probably worked it out before the interview.
Yeah, and you thought for just a second she was going to say, "I invest." Wait, what? Into the capitalists?
Wait a minute. Yeah,
and myself into my community.
Yeah. Uh huh. for her family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we should see if her mom moves into one of those abodes and her brother. Let's just see if any of her family members move into those homes.
The California one has that nice guest house in the backyard.
Oh, yeah, it does.
So she'll probably be hanging out there.
In the meantime, Breonna Taylor's mother, Breonna Taylor, her boyfriend shot at police when they came in the middle of the night. And police returned fire, not striking the boyfriend, but killing Breonna Taylor instead. Breonna Taylor's mother now is slamming Black Lives Matter, saying that the organization is a fraud and says they've never done a damn thing for us. Stunning surprise.
But Patrisse Cullors just said,
I know.
I invest in myself
and black
and
people.
My family and the black community.
Yeah.
And here's a prime example of someone who could use your help. The mom of Breonna Taylor.
Not gotten a penny, according to her. Tamika Palmer slammed Black Lives Matter movement, calling it a fraud in a Facebook post. She gave credit to friends, family, and local members of the community for supporting her family after Breonna was killed. In the post, she criticized Black Lives Matter Louisville chapter and called Kentucky State Representative Attica Scott a fraud. Scott is a Democrat who was pushed to promote no-knock warrants. No, he wants to prohibit them, not continue them. I have never personally dealt with BLM Louisville and personally have found them to be a fraud.
They didn't reach out to the mom?
Nope.
Breonna Taylor's mom. They didn't. The
she said
local
she's had
chapter.
no contact with them. That's amazing. She also attacked BLM Louisville for raising money on behalf of Breonna's family, and yet they've never done a damn thing for us when we needed it or asked. Oh, man. How surprising that is, though. Right. Aren't you stunned? I thought Black Lives Matter was just meant, it was set up, was founded to do things like this, to take care of Breonna Taylor and her family. But no, apparently not. Meanwhile, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, police arrived on the scene as a homeowner tried to get into his house during a BLM march.
Yeah, watch this.
Here's what happened there.
The guy's trying to get to his house. I live here. Let me get into my driveway. Watch the guy on the big black guy show up here. Oh, look who starts it. And then he backs up like a puss. Look at that. So the Black Lives Matter guy is the one shoving at him.
Right.
This guy's just saying, I want to get to my house. Okay, the cops are going to settle. They're going to fix this. Here we go. Whoa, wait, hold on.
They take him away.
They're just going to talk to him. I'm sure that's all they're doing. They're just over there talking to him. See, watch this. They're just talking to him. Wait, no.
No, they're handcuffing him. Jeez, man.
Literally, the guy was trying to turn onto a road to get to his house, got out of his car, and then was assaulted, and now he's in the back of the paddy wagon.
I mean, what do you even say to that? What do you even say? They roll up and immediately grab the homeowner. Unbelievable. What does it take? That's amazing.
I mean, did you notice that the road was blocked not by police officers? So it wasn't like an official roadblock.
Yeah.
They were blocked by protesters. That's the road to his house was blocked by protesters.
And he's just trying to get home.
And he's like, hey, I live there. Come on, look out. Let me through here. And then he starts getting shoved, and cops show up, and now you're off to jail, I guess.
Unbelievable. Then we have this video of how maybe you handle a thug, somebody who's accosting you on the street.
Let's see.
See if this is a lesson.
Oh, no. Is that a knife in his face or a gun?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yes!
Ouch.
Yeah. Listen to him scream like a stuck pig.
Wow. So he wasn't so tough after the guy responded to him.
I live for hearing that scream. Can we hear that one more time, please? That is the greatest sound of the weekend right there. Just listen to this kid.
They rush up, put a knife to his throat.
And the guy goes, "Are you serious?"
Oh, boy. Then he gets body slammed into the pavement.
Let him go. Let him go.
Wow. You gotta love that.
That's a cathartic video right there.
Were they trying to rob him?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there other than...
I love that. We may have to see that another, 15 or 20 times.
I want to save that in the...
That was awesome.
We need to feel good file, Rob.
Yeah, that was...
So like on dark days, we come in here and we just start playing videos like that.
The squealing he does.
Oh, that was a tourism video. No, seriously. That was an impromptu scene from Deliverance, apparently, playing out there in the middle of the street.
Yeah. I love how he yells as he starts getting punched in the face. Okay. No, sorry. You were going to finish this little encounter. And then he gets slammed to the pavement, face first. Ooh. That had to hurt.
Yep.
Had to.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty effective.
Yeah. So kids, don't run up to people and
it's a good safety
threaten
tip.
them, because you never know.
It's
going to be waiting for you on the other end there.
Maybe a big dude who is willing to defend himself. That might be what's awaiting you.
Ned Beatty. What you end up sounding like.
Man. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Did you see that Elon Musk beat out Jeff Bezos for the NASA contract? They both wanted it. SpaceX wanted it, but so did Blue Origin. Because they're going back to the moon. And whose rocket is going to take them there? Well, it's going to be SpaceX.
Oh, wow. I love it. By the way, breaking news just happened just now. They've successfully flown that helicopter on Mars, by the way. How cool is that?
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Oh, that is very cool.
So anyway, back to the...
Hopefully we're going to have some video of that.
Yeah, I hope so.
But Washington Post acknowledged the decision was a huge blow for Bezos, who has long been... And by the way, he owns the Washington Post. Who has long been fascinated by the moon and has for years wanted to be a part of the effort to return there. And yet he got beaten out by Elon Musk, and the whole thing's in his own newspaper. That's kind of cool. With other recent partnership contracts for space travel, NASA has often selected multiple companies to encourage competition and to intentionally create redundancy, which is smart. In case one falls behind or can't complete their work. The initial phase of this contract, though, was awarded to 3 companies, SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Dynetics, which is a defense contractor. Selecting just SpaceX now to continue alone is a vote of confidence from NASA, which is kind of interesting because they've had several explosions of the rockets that, as they've tried to run them up into space and then bring them back down safely, almost all of them have blown up on landing, which probably isn't ideal. You know, especially if you're going to be inside one of them and you want one of them to take you to the moon. I want to be fairly confident it's not going to blow up underneath me. I'm not sure they've inspired that kind of well, maybe they have because they got the contract. They've also developed a variety of rockets that have carried satellites, cargo, astronauts into space, even the first commercial space trip to the International Space Station last year. Meanwhile, President Biden nominated former Senator Bill Nelson to head up NASA, and he's expected to be easily confirmed at a hearing this week. So we'll see. But very cool. Elon Musk wins again. Guy's got a pretty good track record. Although, on the other hand, there is a problem with letting your Tesla drive you around places and not controlling your own destiny.
Oh, no. What?
Oof. Little incident with a Tesla that is just really tragic. We'll tell you about that coming up in just a few minutes. Stitch Jones tweets, you'd figure Global Citizen Concert would have bands from all over the world, not just America. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. I mean, if it's global, right? Attack Yuki Based on Eddie Vedder's lifelong stance supporting abortion and his performance on MTV Unplugged, I'll pass on his medical advice, but thanks, but no thanks. Jim Crow on steroids, tweets, I'll gladly send my vaccine to a needy person in a third world country. That's very sweet, very generous.
Same here.
Don't tell me Americans aren't generous.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm assuming here that Jim Eagle is American, which is maybe something I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Sith Rhino tweets, third world countries? Hey, how about you do a concert to get rid of dysentery instead of a stupid vaccine? Thanks. Stranded Alien? I'm sure those $1.4 million homes are investing in her community she's fighting for. Yep. Patrisse Cullors, of course, if you missed that discussion. Had some really unfortunate, we were just talking about Elon Musk and his SpaceX company. Something else that has happened a few times. I mean, not that many. I think it's fairly rare. But when you turn over the driving duties completely to your vehicle, to your inanimate object, ooh, that's sometimes a really bad idea. Down in the Houston area, there was a really bad crash that killed 2 people.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Tesla busted up and the 2 people died. Just really sad. I don't know how you get comfortable enough.
Yeah.
At this stage, they said nobody was in the driver's seat.
Oh, no.
They had confidence enough that they weren't even in the driver's seat.
Oh.
So I don't know if that was, I don't know. Shouldn't speculate, I suppose, about what they were doing. But just to turn it over to the car like that, we're not there yet. We may be at some point. It might be that you're going to see the Minority Report type cars that just take you wherever you need to go and travel up the sides of buildings and all of that kind of stuff. But we are not there yet. I mean, it'll drive okay for you on a straightway, on a freeway, and probably brake before it slams into the back of some other vehicle. You can count on it to pretty much do that. Maybe change lanes a few times. But I would never count on that thing to do turns, maneuver the way it needs to in the city. There's just certain things that it can't do extremely well right now. That, like we've talked about before, just getting into your car and going to sleep and let it drive you to work. Well, maybe one day we'll be there, but that's a long way away for me. I'm going to have to be pretty well convinced that it can handle that. Would you be comfortable with that? There is no way I would do that.
I'm just thinking of, I don't know, these taxis, right? These airborne taxis that they're working on too.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no form of transportation where I'm going to be comfortable at this point, anyhow, of it just sailing along smoothly enough for me to take a nap.
No way.
If it's not a human behind the wheel.
Right.
I just, no. But, it would be interesting to do the math on that to see what the percentages of crashes with automated vehicles and those that are controlled by humans. I'd love to see the percentage there.
Yeah, I would too. My understanding was that 4G is not adequate to do the job completely,
right.
But 5G is. And that's why 5G will be so important eventually once it really kicks in, because it responds fast enough so that your car could actually do most of the things you want it to do.
And I'd like to preface this by saying I absolutely do not know what I'm talking about. But if it's 5G, right,
mm-hmm.
Is it as simple as there was a bad cell signal where that car hit the tree?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
mm-hmm.
Like if you're talking to somebody on the phone and they drop off, hell, that could be your life right there. Again,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about other than I'm with you. I am not giving up control at this point.
No, I just wouldn't be comfortable.
I don't think I ever will be able to.
It's scary enough just to let go of the wheel if you're on a straightaway. If you're driving for miles and you got a straight path and it's not crowded and there's very little traffic, then I might turn it over, but I'd be ready to grab the wheel.
I'm not sleeping
anytime I need to. No way.
I'm not looking down.
Way. And we've seen reports, didn't we? We did have a video of somebody who was. It looked like they were sleeping.
That's what people think it was. Yeah.
Somebody took a video of them as they drove by them, and look they're asleep, and their car's driving them. Wow, you got a lot of confidence in that vehicle and that technology, a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
Good luck on that. There was another really sad crash. This one happened in a Lowry Hill tunnel in Minneapolis. Here's what happened there. I'm not sure if this is a self-driving Tesla situation on this one. Okay, they're still preparing that.
Okay.
Getting that ready to go. But we also have a bunch of other things to talk about. Bill Maher, once again, stepping up and making a little bit of sense on his show over the weekend. Here he actually says liberals have been wrong about COVID. Get this.
But what about liberals? You know, the high information by the science people?
And bull crap.
In a recent Gallup survey, Democrats did much worse than Republicans in getting the right answer to the fundamental question.
Thank you.
What are the chances that someone who gets COVID will need to be hospitalized? The answer is between 1% and 5%.
This is amazing.
41% of Democrats thought it was over 50%. Another 28% put the chances at 20 to 49. So almost 70% of Democrats are wildly off on this key question and also have a greatly exaggerated view of the danger of COVID-2 and the mortality rate among children. All of which explains why today the states with the highest share of schools that are still closed are all blue states. So if the right-wing media bubble has to own things like climate change denial,
shut up.
Shouldn't liberal media have to answer for, how did your audience wind up believing such a bunch of crap about COVID?
Yes.
Yeah, we're right on climate change too, Bill.
A new report
Might
in
want
The
to look
Atlantic
into it, yeah.
says the media won't stop putting pictures of the beach on stories about COVID, even though it's looking increasingly like the beach is the best place to avoid it. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and vitamin D is the key to a robust immune system.
Right.
Texas lifted its COVID restrictions recently, and their infection rates went down, in part because of people getting outside. So let the sun and wind do their thing.
Yep. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
For a year.
Yeah.
Sunlight, outdoors.
It's great. I mean, he's clearly sick and tired of it, too. And he's actually doing some actual research, which is nice, because he doesn't on every issue. Like, I don't know, climate change, for instance. But here he is talking about how Republican governors have been right all along.
But to many liberals, that can't be right, because Texas and beach-loving Florida have Republican governors. But life is complicated. I've read that the governor of Florida reads. But apparently the governor is also a voracious consumer of the scientific literature. And maybe that's why he protected his most vulnerable population, the elderly, way better than did the governor of New York.
Yes! Thank you.
Those are just facts. I know it's irresponsible of me to say them. Look, here's what I'm saying. I don't want politics mixed in with my medical decisions.
That's great. Good stuff. I hope it penetrates that audience, because they need to understand the truth. You look at those polls and you see why we're up against such incredible opposition to opening things up. They just think that if you get it, you're going to die. If you get it, you're going to be in the hospital or dead. And they really don't know what they're talking about. Let me take 1 minute, tell you about ScoreMaster. This should make you happy. Getting your best credit score possible. The average American has 97 points they can add to their credit score. 97 points, but of course they don't know how to do it. ScoreMaster does. ScoreMaster isn't credit repair, it's credit science. And it helps you get your points really fast. In fact, the average ScoreMaster user adds 61 points in 20 days or less. And getting your plus points fast can save you a fortune. If you're going to apply for a loan or credit card, refinance your house, whatever it might be. ScoreMaster is also great for business owners who use their credit score to finance their businesses. You can enroll in just a few minutes, and they'll even show you how many plus points you can add to your credit score and how fast you can add them. Visit scoremaster.com/Pat. That's scoremaster.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
All right, so we had one liberal saying some actually saying some common sense things over the weekend, Bill Maher. But, of course, that had to be balanced out by absolute butt stupidity from Joe Biden. Joe Biden has a message to gun owners over the weekend.
It is a national embarrassment what's going on. And it's not only these mass shootings that are occurring. Every single day, there's a mass shooting in the United States if you count all those who were killed out in the streets of our cities and our rural areas. It's a national embarrassment and must come to an end. And one last thing.
What?
The folks who own weapons, the folks who own guns, they support universal background checks.
No.
The majority of them think we should not be selling assault weapons.
Oh, absolutely
Who in
not.
God's name
Get out of here.
Needs a weapon that can hold 100 rounds or 40 rounds.
Who are you to decide what they
rounds.
need?
It's just
Or
wrong.
20 rounds.
And I'm not going to give up till it's done.
Oh. Wow. So, who in God's name needs? It's none of your business what I need or don't need. You have no idea who needs or why. Mm-hmm. We've shown reasons to need. I mean, first of all, maybe you're not a very good shot, and you're going to need to shoot multiple times to hit whatever target you're shooting at.
Yeah. Or maybe you are out in the woods and you get surrounded by a bunch of wild boars. Remember that video we watched?
How many were there? 30?
At least 30. Just coming out of the woods, spilling out, surrounding these three guys. Oh.
And they needed multiple bullets to fend off these wild pigs.
Well, here's a hypothetical. Let's just say you're going out to your car in the morning and a bobcat attacks you. You want access to it.
Yes.
It's not just a hypothetical.
Right.
Watch this.
Good morning.
Hi. Oh, look, she's out for a jog there. He's putting his coffee out there.
I need to wash my car.
You sure do, man. Gross. And now the cat is in the carrier. And then she's attacked. A bobcat attacks the wife there. And look at him. He comes around here. He's holding the bobcat.
And
flings it. Then draws his weapon.
Watch out! Oh, shoot that! Yeah, watch out! Watch out! There's a bobcat attack my wife! A bobcat!
Why does this lady keep getting in the middle of it? Keep coming back there. Anyway.
Did he ever shoot it? Do we know?
We don't know. The tape stops because he didn't want PETA showing up.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it doesn't matter that the bobcat was actually attacking people.
Right.
That wouldn't matter. All you had to do was go back in your house and call the authorities and let them remove it humanely. That's all you needed to do.
Might arrest me, as we learned earlier in the program, while the bobcat goes free.
That's great. Huh. What a weird situation, but that shows humans who are invading that bobcat's natural habitat.
I don't know that was the moral
of
the story. I don't think that's the lesson.
That's the lesson that will be taken from this.
No,
you know it will.
No, the takeaway is arm yourself and be armed at all times because you never know when a bobcat is going to jump out and attack your wife.
Right, because you have encroached on its habitat.
Again.
Building homes where humans shouldn't live.
No. Again, you want to recall the lesson.
What's the lesson I want again?
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
And have a firearm on you at all times. So that if a bobcat attacks you,
Now, why is a bobcat attacking me? Why isn't it in its own habitat, though? That's what I'm confused by.
Because they're dumb animals.
Okay.
And he doesn't know this is
it
where
just
you
wandered
live.
way too far from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go home, honey.
I mean,
you're going to take some hot lead.
The woods are hundreds of miles away.
What do you need?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
it's a good lesson to take.
Somebody was telling me recently, who was this? I don't even know. It might have been my son, actually. Like these bears, right? They kick a bear out, and then that's how they wander into cities by themselves. So, because they're trying to find their own place in the world.
Right.
And next thing you know, they're in your driveway.
They're in your driveway, attacking your wife. And you're picking him up and throwing him on the lawn. He's probably going to get in trouble just for that.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you manhandle that little tiny bobcat like that?
How dare you?
Exactly.
How that's pretty intense that he actually picks the thing up.
Yeah.
Listen to me, bro. There's only room enough for one of us in this driveway.
And then it had the nerve to come back at him. That should have been enough for the bobcat to leave, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't.
What a dumb animal.
Dumb animal.
Right?
Should have that thing checked. It's like the turtles. Turtles are stupid,
They
too.
are. They
you
are
know?
stupid. Who do you think's more stupid, that bobcat or turtles?
Not turtles.
Turtles weren't so stupid, they wouldn't put straws in their
driveways.
When I see a straw, I
put it in my mouth.
Straws don't belong there, but the
turtles don't know why.
Nice country version.
Oh, thank you. They all deserve to die.
Beautiful. Beautiful. At least the bobcat didn't have a straw up its nose.
You had that going for it.
Yeah.
He probably got a bullet up his nose, though.
888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Carl Smith tweets, does Bill Maher have a twin? How can one guy be so spot on at times and such an a-hole at other times? It's a really good question.
It's called selective editing.
Yeah. Wes tweets, I could watch that video of that guy getting what he deserves all day. We got us a squealer. And there it is.
Are you serious? Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Ouch.
Wow. Okay. No, sorry, dude. Yeah, you deserve this. And then he's body slammed to the pavement. The Steve 42 tweets, why doesn't SpaceX just borrow some alien technology from the military?
Right.
That's a good question.
Right there waiting.
B. de Bodine, I don't feel safe sleeping with an actual driver behind the wheel. No way I'm snoozing with no driver. Yeah, as you know, the only time I feel comfortable sleeping in the car is when I'm driving. That's when I fall asleep.
Whoa.
Wait. No, maybe that's not.
No.
Maybe that's not the ideal time to go to sleep.
You ever fallen asleep behind the wheel?
For a fraction of a second, and then I pull over because I don't want to crash into anybody or anything.
Right. I remember now. You were really close to being home, right? Because we work some weird hours. I don't know if you know this. I have not been fully rested in 20 years of this shift.
Yes,
that's
true.
But no, I used to work overnights, and then I would go from the radio station to the golf course and work. And twice I fell asleep driving home after a shift of 18, 19 hours or something. Scary, man.
Did you crash?
No, it was like you. It was
good.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's just not worth it. You need to pull over at that point.
Yeah, I totally
get a little nap in.
Totally did that.
Todd Curtis tweets, no self-driving vehicles for me until they can create a truly hack-free computer system. War of the World Views tweets, with all the sensor failure dash lights in my car, I think I'll pass on the sensors driving for me. Yeah, that's the thing. We're just not there. I don't think. We've come a long way technologically, but we're not to the point where you just entrust your car to get you safely someplace without any input from you. I don't think so. Brian Moore tweets, is a Tesla ready to drive Glenn's cattle into town? I got a Tesla.
Got some cattle. I'm driving to the town.
In a Tesla.
This, we believe, is also a Tesla. This happened in Minneapolis over the weekend. Another little crash where the guy hits the...
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Fiery. Not good.
Oh.
Then there's another look at this from the other direction.
Oh, no.
And you see him go right into the wall.
Oh.
In the tunnel.
Oh.
Jeez.
I don't want to ask what happened
So
to the driver.
you don't want to ask. And I don't know if they had it on self-drive there, too.
But that was a Tesla.
Yeah. Oh, God. Look at that. Oof. Jeez. Not good. 888-900-3393. Also, we had Biden over the weekend welcoming the Japanese prime minister.
Oh, cool.
And here's what he had to say.
Okay. Oh, look at the virtue signaling.
Oh, they got their masks. Yeah.
Did y'all see that?
On their
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Socially distanced.
The Prime Minister's brought the sun out. So you can do about anything.
That reminds me of like Obama.
And Yossi,
yeah.
I know how proud you are of the people of Japan are. And you've got a Japanese boy coming over here, and guess what?
Oh.
He won the Masters.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You got a Japanese boy.
Okay.
That's a grown-ass man.
29.
Joe.
29 years
29. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you cute little Japanese people. You're adorable.
Hideki Matsuyama. Not a boy.
Yeah, what is he?
29.
He's not a girl. Is he? Well, yeah, of course he's a little Japanese boy. That's good. That's great. Again,
here we go. Follow the rule.
If it was Trump, what would be happening today?
It would literally be the lead story on CNN while they waited for Minneapolis to burn.
Yes. Which, by the way, they're expecting the verdict in the Chauvin trial this week sometime. And that could go quite badly.
Minneapolis public schools, now that they're back in session and they're in-person learning. Yeah, it's going to be remote learning beginning Wednesday. So Wednesday through Friday, they've already written off. They're like, yep, city's going to be burning to the ground. We're going to have school in homes.
I think they've got 3,000 National Guardsmen standing by to make sure that, they can try to keep the peace in certain areas. Business, if you're a business and you're anywhere downtown or, Brooklyn Center, wherever these things are going on, how nervous would you be right now that you're just about to lose everything you own? I sure hope not. But Maxine Waters was there over the weekend demanding justice, demanding that people get out in the streets and be more confrontational, and saying that to her it was first-degree murder. Well, he can't be charged with first-degree murder. He's not charged with that, so he's not going to be convicted of that. Now you just put that in people's heads. Well, yeah, if he's not convicted of first-degree murder, then we're going to go crazy.
Seriously, I mean, think about this. If he's found not guilty, Minneapolis burns.
Oh, yeah.
If he's found guilty, it's not guilty enough, like you just said, the different degrees there, Minneapolis burns. If it's a hung jury, oh my gosh, look. Minneapolis burns. I mean, I don't know that there's a scenario here.
Yeah, I don't either. It's frightening.
And I think about those businesses on Lake Street that you always hear about. That's where that cool bowling alley was. Remember that, where the drone flew through and we had that video?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's now what I think of when I hear Lake Street. So later this week, when you hear about fires on Lake Street, you can think about that owner of that bowling alley who opens up his doors after the pandemic, takes that awesome drone video to promote his business, and here we go. I just hope somehow they avoid doing stupid things there this week.
Me too, but you've got politicians inflaming the situation. Maxine Waters did all she could to make it as bad as possible. There's no way, for first-degree murder, you have to believe that he planned that in advance, that he set out that day to kill that black person. I mean, that's asinine. It's ludicrous. And again, nobody's talking about her in the mainstream media. like they would have Donald Trump, how she incited violence and riots.
Yeah, the only person in Congress who is calling for her expulsion is Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's going to introduce a resolution today to get her kicked out of Congress.
Wonder how that'll go.
Oh, they will make this.
Yeah,
Marjorie
they'll make
Taylor
it about
Greene's
race.
A racist.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. I mean, she got shamed into dropping the idea of the America First caucus because America First, I guess, is now racism. It's being racist.
Huh.
I'm not sure how that works.
Okay.
But you're part of the Klan, if you believe it. Here's what Jim Acosta had to say on CNN.
Some GOP leaders are discovering that apparently trying to launch a caucus around racist rhetoric wasn't such a good idea after all.
Jeez.
Republican Congressman Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's slamming the brakes on the launch of the America First caucus. The caucus was going to bring together a group of far-right lawmakers known for their controversial rhetoric. Punchbowl News obtained a flyer that said the new caucus would also have called for a, quote, common respect for uniquely Anglo-Saxon political traditions, whatever that is, while also peddling a series of debunked conspiracy theories about election integrity. CNN's Suzanne Malveaux joins me now. Suzanne,
listen to this.
I guess we should all be grateful there won't be a Klan caucus in the United States Congress.
There won't be a Klan caucus in United States Congress. That is despicable. Okay, so if you believe that American lawmakers should put America's interest first for all Americans, they're not saying just white Americans, then you're a member of the Ku Klux Klan? Since when is honoring your country and putting it first? I mean, that's part of the oath that they take when they go into office. That's just so amazing.
You know what you just did there? You know, you're going to reference the oath of office for being in Congress.
Yeah.
That's code. That's racist code.
Oh, is it code?
Yeah, you can't.
It's a dog whistle?
It's a dog whistle, dude.
Oh, darn it.
Oh, look, I'm going to uphold my oath of office to the Constitution.
So only dogs heard it then?
Yeah.
Ah, dang it. I was hoping for our audience to be able to hear that. But they couldn't because I said it in such a frequency that only dogs can.
Right.
Oh, darn it.
Wait a minute.
Darn.
I heard
it. Darn it.
Yeah.
You heard it?
So wait a minute.
Are you part dog?
I mean, I must be.
You must be because humans can't hear dog whistles.
Well, this was unexpectedly awkward. Rough.
Wasn't it, though? Yeah. I mean, even if... Okay, the white Anglo-Saxon thing, traditions that they were mentioning, I don't know what that's about or if it's even really in there. But putting something like that so that we're, I don't know, not wiped off the face of the planet or whatever, which has kind of been some of the talk of late. So maybe that's why they included it. But there is a black caucus in Congress. Is Jim Acosta aware of that? Why can there be a black caucus, but there couldn't be this America First caucus?
Right, and she does call for a quote,
unbelievable
common respect for uniquely Anglo-Saxon political traditions. You should be proud of Anglo-Saxon political traditions. I mean, let's go back to the Magna Carta. I mean, this is you shouldn't be ashamed of that. Now, if she had written Pacific Islander or African centric or whatever, that's cool,
perfectly fine.
But you try to give credit where credit is due on political traditions.
You're a Klan member. You're a freaking Klan member.
Pathetic.
I'm really tired of it. Really done with it. 888-900-3393. Also, the White House has backtracked now on the refugees decision because they got a little bit of criticism for it. They were going to roll back the number of refugees to Trump-era caps. They were going to cap it at 15,000.
Friday afternoon, it was a sight to behold to get the news updates on this story.
2 hours later, they cave and lifted the cap to 62,500.
Right. So they were effectively admitting that Trump did it right with immigration.
Right.
So we're going to emulate that.
And then they were admitting they don't have the giblets to do what they should have done because probably they got some tweets that were negative.
That was
hard
fun.
to take.
Yeah.
It would be fun if it weren't so damaging to the country.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem. All of these things where they're eating their own and they're caving in like this to the left, the far left wing element in their party.
Yeah, the Biden administration is proving that they suck at governing. You know why? Because Marxists suck at governing. Yeah. That's what's happening here.
Precisely. Well said.
Just collapsing our government.
Indeed.
I mean, from the inside.
Yes. Yes, we are. All right, 888. Oh. No, go ahead.
That's good stuff.
Let's hear it out.
No, I like this.
She's expressing what I'm feeling right now. Yeah, okay. Or not. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. What does that mean? So ominous. Huh. Yeah, welcome. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Here's something interesting. Hispanic American approval for President Biden's handling of the ongoing border crisis is even lower than the rest of Americans, according to a poll from Quinnipiac University. Just 29% of all Americans approve of Biden's handling of the border crisis. 29%. That means a good number of Democrats are not happy with what he's doing either. So this record-breaking rates of illegal crossings is starting to affect Americans. And, of course, the apprehended minors who are in the facility of their own. I don't know why we discriminate so much against minors. They're just trying to, bring us precious metals and, things of that nature. Yeah. Copper, gold. Sometimes they're mining for gold. I mean, I don't know why they're so discriminated against.
Well, I mean, there's a particular kind of miner that Joe Biden prefers.
Really?
Not the precious metal ones.
Okay.
But, Border Patrol agents are coming out. I mean, and they are talking to places like Daily Caller and more conservative outlets where, just like we said, man, you make their life miserable, they're going to come out and tell you what it's like. And there are horror stories that they are expressing publicly now.
So it's 29% of all Americans that approve. It's 27% of Hispanic Americans that approve of his handling. And here's why. When you have migrated here, when you have immigrated to the U.S., and you've done it legally, how much would you resent when thousands and thousands are just allowed to come across the border illegally, and they don't bother with anything that you went through, with all the red tape you had to overcome to become a legal resident of this country? Mm-hmm. I'd be pissed too, and I wouldn't be happy about the way he's handling this situation.
Yeah, and he actually referenced it as being a crisis over the weekend. Like he was...
Yeah.
He was getting into a car, and he referred to it as a crisis. So, I mean...
For the first time,
They know...
They know
they've screwed this up.
Yep. Yeah. They're still trying to blame it on Trump, but they know they screwed it up. But that's the only thing they can do now, is blame Trump. Yeah, we inherited this problem. No, you didn't. No, it was not at this level when you took over. So we all pretty much know that's a stinking lie.
And they're just so demoralized. How could you not be a part of one of these organizations on the border or ICE or Homeland Security and not just be like, what am I doing with my life? Because in fact, I think over the weekend, Phoenix, they pulled over a van. There were 17 illegal aliens inside, and they called ICE to come and pick them up. ICE was like, nah.
They said no?
Yeah, and so I think like the Phoenix police or whatever were like, okay, I guess you're free to go. So 17 illegals just poof into Phoenix now.
And how often is that happening?
Mm-hmm.
It's happening a lot. Plus, the word is that they're loading people up and sending them across the country to places in the East and just housing them at like refugee centers and having them watched over by certain members of the military. And they know that about 15 to 20% of them already have COVID-19, and they're not separating them.
Yep.
And they're not keeping the rest of the immigrants safe. They're not keeping the military personnel safe. Although I think most of the military, if not all of the military, they insisted that they get the vaccine before they go. But here they are, just bringing them into the country and housing them at places all over the nation, and we don't even hear about it. They don't ever talk about it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the Border Patrol agents are saying at these facilities, that they are in close quarters with illegals that are COVID-19 positive on a daily basis. And if you don't show symptoms as a guard, you just keep coming to work. We don't care. Just keep coming.
Jeez. Because what else are they going to do?
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, but remember now, if you are in a federal building for more than a nanosecond and you don't have a mask on,
you'll be arrested.
Yeah, you're out of here.
And put your butt in jail. It's just unbelievable.
How does a nation continue with the hypocrisy and the double standard on all fronts? All fronts.
I mean, it continues, but it just continues to go downhill if we don't put a stop to it. At least Waukegan, Illinois Middle School has decided not to rename their school Barack and Michelle Obama Middle School. That's because pro-immigration activists complained that the former president had a dismal record on deportations. How do you like that?
I love it.
Thomas Jefferson Middle School is being renamed. You can't have that.
No. I mean, the guy who told Britain off in a letter.
Oh, come on now.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, yes, the guy wrote the Declaration of Independence. So what? He was a racist white guy who was rich and had slaves. And that's all that we need to know. And there's no mitigating circumstances whatsoever.
I'm glad that
He's just a bad person.
You made it clear his biggest sin was that he was white.
Yes.
You lead with that.
Obviously.
Okay.
White. Casper. Casper Jefferson Middle School. That's what they should have named it in the first place.
Right.
But now they're going to rename it after the late Georgia Rep. John Lewis, civil rights legend who died last summer. So there you go.
Yeah, and his extensive ties to the state of Illinois.
Well, he visited there, I think, once.
Did he?
I think he's been to Illinois.
He had a layover.
Yes, he was from Georgia, but he visited Illinois, and I think he once mentioned Chicago in some context.
So
I'm not sure.
Was he at O'Hare long enough to grab a meal?
No, not that long. I think it was like a 30-minute layover.
30 minutes?
Yeah. He had very
it's
little
a
time.
30-minute.
Yeah.
He was there for 30 minutes. And so he ended up getting a school named
after.
You
take the 18-minute, you add it to the
So if we put the 18-minute together along with the 7-minute together, you got 22 minutes. You sell it with 8 minutes of ads, you got 30 minutes.
Or you have as long as John Lewis, who was in the state of Illinois.
Yeah, 30-minute. You got a problem with that?
No, we're good.
No, I hope not.
No, we're good.
Okay.
It's a fun world we live in.
It is. It's going to get even more fun because we've got some Dr. Fauci fun.
Oh, no.
Here, Dr. St. Fauci doesn't understand. How long is this? Do we have time for it here?
13 seconds.
Oh, okay. Let's see what he had to say about the COVID shot.
Almost paradoxical that on the one hand they want to be relieved of the restrictions, but on the other hand they don't want to get vaccinated. It just almost doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to somebody who has a freaking brain in their head. A lot of people don't trust the vaccines. Sorry about that, Fauci. You can't noodle that out for yourself. They don't trust the vaccine. They don't trust you because you've been wrong every step of the way. Every step of the way. You've been wrong.
Every step.
And not just on this. He was wrong about AIDS back in the 80s. I mean, he's been wrong on everything. And he's taken both sides of everything. So people don't trust what you have to say about the vaccine.
Our freedom existed before there was a COVID shot. I don't know if he knows this. You don't need one to have the other.
Well, he doesn't look at it like that. He looks at it as a medical issue.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry about the Constitution. He's looking at it medically.
I wonder if they'll name a middle school after this clown.
Yes, they will. It'll be called Buffoon Middle School. got some tweets here from Dan297 Notorious. Why isn't the federal government using the opportunity to vaccinate the illegals before releasing them? Reaganette tweets, where is Dr. Fauci on these migration illegal centers, not social distancing?
I'd love to hear that. Weigh in, right? Doctor.
Yeah, you've seen the photos of the people jammed into these centers, like right next to each other. They're not inches apart, let alone feet. What do you think of that? They look like a bunch of baked potatoes, all baking in an oven because they got the foil over them.
Got the foil.
It's ridiculous. Smallmouth Bass Kurt tweets, the reason so many Democrats disapprove of Biden's handling of the border is because a good number of Democrats want open borders. From Kara 3022, can border states create their own state border patrol and state ICE department? Don't believe so. It's a federal issue. To capture and deport illegals breaking into their sovereign states. There has to be a way, if not. Yes, it's part of the problem. Ontario's premier, Doug Ford. I guess a premier is a governor.
Yeah.
But they also have a premier at the head of their federal government. So that's kind of weird. Maybe they should, look to the south a little bit and see what these provincial leaders should be called. You can't call them the same thing as your president or premier. So call him a governor. But they don't. Anyway, here's what he had to say last week to protect. All he wants to do is protect people. That's all.
We have implemented the strictest measures in all of North America.
And he's bragging.
Good for you.
And the difficult truth is,
every
public health measure we have left comes with a massive cost to people and their lives.
Oh, well, good. That's great.
But we have never shied away from doing what's necessary.
Really?
We have made the deliberate decision to temporarily enhance police officers' authority for the duration of the stay-at-home order.
Oh, good.
Moving forward,
like what can they do?
Police will have the authority to require any individual who is not in a place of residence to first provide their purpose for not being at home and provide their home address.
Pause it for a second.
Police
so in
will
other words, they're free to say, I'd like to see the papers, please. May I see your papers? That's what they're authorized to do.
Precisely.
Okay. What else?
Also have the authority to stop a vehicle to inquire about an individual's reason for leaving their residence.
What?
And our inspectors will also be ensuring that those who absolutely must come to work are strictly following the public health measures. For our employers and employees, take note.
Okay.
This is your last warning.
Oh, my
About
gosh.
these new police powers to just randomly stop someone walking down the street or to pull over a car. What happens if a person refuses to answer the police questions?
So by issuing these new additional enforcement measures, it allows police officers to ask the person why they are not at their place of residence and what their place of residence is. And specifically to your question, if you are not willing to comply, then you are breaking the law.
If someone
and what does
sees
that mean?
their neighbors breaking these new regulations and having a party in their yard, that sort of thing, should people call the police on their neighbors?
In terms of people calling to snitch, to inform, look, we all have a personal responsibility.
Right,
if it means
right.
saving lives,
Then
I
yes.
think we have to think about what your social responsibilities are as an individual to make sure that you don't empower other people and invite a whole bunch of individuals to your home.
Please get out. Get out of this property immediately. Get out.
I don't care what you have to say. Out! Out! Out of this property,
Seriously.
you Nazis! Out!
Canada's falling apart too.
Yeah, it really is. Wow.
And so that was Ontario.
So police balked at doing that.
Yeah.
And the people kind of balked at having it done to them.
They were actually last night, or Saturday night, sending SOS signals across Niagara Falls into I think the National Guard of New York.
Wow.
And they were flying the Canadian flag upside down. First of all, if you're reaching out for help from the state of New York,
yeah, you're in
things are
desperate
bad.
straits.
Right.
So that by now, I mean, they got so much flack for this. Fortunately, they rescinded the orders.
Yep.
But you heard what they were planning to do. That is as draconian as I think I've ever heard. That is unbelievable.
They made them unenforceable.
That one woman was like unapologetically fascist. She didn't care. She was saying it like it was a good thing. Well, if you're not going to do what we tell you and show us your papers, why then we'll have to drag you outside and beat you with clubs.
Right.
And then we'll put you into prison.
If it just saves one life.
Okay.
Not yours
All right.
necessarily.
No, not yours, but mine. Okay. Because that's what I'm really concerned with, is my health and safety. Don't really care about you. Okay. All righty. Bye-bye now. That was some chilling stuff.
I mean, that's kind of the...
chilling.
We would have been stunned if we played that video and those were Chinese government officials.
Oh, yeah.
And we were reading the caption at the bottom, we would be like, oh my gosh, can you imagine living under that tyranny?
Yeah.
Ta-da, Western world, where have you been?
Jeez.
It's
glad to see that they stood up against it, though. Canadian citizens stood up against it and said, absolutely not.
But you saw
we're not doing it.
The key was that the police refused.
Police weren't going to do it.
To enforce those laws.
Yep.
Those edicts.
That's great.
That's the key. You got to get your police to just say. That's why I love Denton County so much during this lockdown situation here in Texas. Right out of the gate, when Abbott issued that stupid order on July 2nd, the Denton County sheriff was like, not enforcing it.
That's great.
Not happening.
And by the way, that edict that he issued, last year sometime, it might be part of the reason that in a poll done just recently here in Texas, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh no.
In a
head-to-head?
Head-to-head.
Okay.
Just a potential head-to-head because he hasn't obviously announced yet. But he's talked about it.
Right.
He's talked about running for governor. He's 12 points ahead of Abbott right now.
No.
He's 12 points ahead of Greg Abbott.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
That's crazy. What kind of freak would vote for Matthew McConaughey
and let's
governor of Texas?
Right. What kind of freak?
What kind of freak?
Here's Texas's COVID numbers since we dropped the stupid mandate.
Right.
Ta-da!
Yep. Headed the right direction.
Straight down.
By the way, a Washington Post columnist says scientists are too afraid of Dr. Fauci's influence to freely criticize his research that may have been connected to the COVID-19 outbreak. Josh Rogan claims that scientists are unable to speak up about issues connected to Fauci's research. At issue is the funding controlled by the NIH and the NIAID, which Fauci leads.
Follow the money every time.
Rogan claims Fauci is the godfather of gain-of-function research. Gain-of-function research was taking place at the Wuhan laboratory that's been named as the site of the coronavirus outbreak. No official determination has been made, of course, about where it began, but we actually do know where it didn't begin because we found that out on 60 Minutes a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the WHO team for a reason. And, if you're going to work in China on coronaviruses and try and understand their origins, you should involve the people who know the most about that.
Okay.
And for better or for worse, I do.
WHO
He says
guy.
the team did look into the leak theory during a visit with lab scientists and deemed it extremely unlikely.
Oh.
We met with them. We said, do you audit the lab? And they said, annually. Did you audit it after the outbreak? Yes. Was anything found? No. Do you test your staff? Yes. No.
You're just taking their word for it.
Right.
Well, what else can we do?
What
There's
else
a
can
limit
they
to
do?
what you can do. And we went right up to that limit. We asked them tough
What else
questions.
could they do?
They weren't vetted in advance. And the answers they gave, we found to be believable, correct, and convincing.
But weren't the
Well, they said
Chinese
no.
engaged in a cover-up? They
Yes.
destroyed evidence. They
Yes.
punished scientists who were trying to give evidence on this very question of the origin.
Well, that wasn't our task to find out if China had covered up the origin
No, I know.
issue.
I'm just saying, doesn't that make you wonder?
We didn't see any evidence of any false reporting or cover-up in the work that we did in China.
Yeah, there you go. I mean,
what
they
else do
didn't
you
see
want?
any. They asked.
Yeah.
What do you want them to do?
Right.
Look into it?
And if-
What, are you crazy?
I'll tell you something else, Leslie Stahl. You ask one more follow-up, I'm going to call you a xenophobe.
Right?
Okay.
And a racist.
Right.
And a racist.
And a bigot. Can we mix that in there?
Asianophobe.
Asianophobe.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, the WHO guy just said, we went right up to that line.
Yeah.
And what else do you want?
Yeah. We asked them, hey, did you guys release it from that laboratory? No. Oh, okay. Well, good. All right. Well, yeah, we were just wondering.
Can we look around, maybe?
No. Okay. Well, all right. Well, we're going to go home. And
can we audit your lab?
No.
Oh, wait.
No,
Why
you
not?
can't. We don't want you to.
Oh.
There's no reason to because we didn't start the fire. It was always burning.
Since the world's been turning?
Yes, exactly.
Huh.
And so since we didn't start the fire, you guys can just go ahead and leave.
Well, you audited your own lab, right?
No.
Wait, they just said yes.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me. Let's get in the car, boys.
I did. That's right. They
All
did
right.
audit
Yeah.
their own. They do it once a year, I think. And have you done it since the pandemic? Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about your
we did.
employees? Did
we
you
didn't
talk to
find
them?
anything.
You talked to your employees?
Yeah, we talked to them. Yeah, and they said no. They didn't
said
do
no,
anything wrong.
They didn't do anything
They didn't
wrong?
do anything wrong. And so
I love how he goes, they weren't vetted beforehand. Yeah, the Chinese Communist Party paid them several visits before you got there, bro. Ugh.
I mean, that's as crazy as it gets. We asked them, and they said no.
What a bizarro world.
What did you want us to do? I don't know. Investigate it? Investigate kind of implies more than just asking the supposed culprit if they're guilty of the crime.
Yeah.
Maybe you look into it, because of course they're going to say no.
Yeah.
They've said no the whole time. They tried to blame it on us.
Yeah. Blame the pangolin. Or bat. Or anything but us.
Or blame the CIA, which wasn't it the CIA that supposedly planted it in Wuhan?
Mm-hmm.
It's madness. It's a madhouse. Right. Mm-hmm.
A madhouse!
Sure is. So deal with it though.
But like you always ask, what more do you want?
Yeah.
Obviously, China has cooperated enough.
Yeah.
Now back off, world.
How many times do we have to be asked? And how many times do we have to tell you? We didn't do it. Okay? We didn't start the fire.
It was
always burning since the world's been turning. Okay?
That song will be in my head all day.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're welcome.
Seriously, no repercussions for China.
None whatsoever.
For this.
No.
Your lifestyle change, your income cratering, your children missing out on athletics, proper schooling.
Right.
That's debatable, though. That's actually kind of
true.
Be a blessing.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm torn on that.
But all of these things now, blame your local and federal governments for what they've taken from you. As you know, don't let a crisis go to waste. But China, there's nothing going to happen to them internationally. No, whatever.
Not a thing.
They'll probably release another one just to see what we'll do next.
By the way, U.S. intelligence has now labeled the confidence that they have in the story of Russians putting bounties on American soldiers in Syria. They have low to moderate confidence in that story.
Yeah, that didn't get much play.
Low to moderate confidence.
Yeah.
Yet another Trump narrative that we find out after the fact was a total stinking lie. A total and complete lie, which we knew at the time. But man, did they make a lot out of it.
Yeah, and there's a guy
leading up to the election
on Twitter, Drew Holden, who did an incredible job over the weekend with screenshots from different media outlets, the timeline, and then ultimately the article lays it out beautifully. What a lie.
It's amazing.
And this guy's a liar.
They used several of these things against Trump toward the end. You know, that whole story about him disparaging troops who were buried in France, which was a provable lie because everybody who was around him at the time, everybody who was actually there said it didn't happen. It's a lie. It didn't happen. Well, they just kept repeating it. Then the U.S. intelligence comes out with this thing, that there were bounties on American troops, and Trump didn't do anything about it because he's so in bed with Vladimir Putin. Really? They said at the time that that didn't happen. That's why we're not doing anything about it, because it's not credible. And it turns out now it's pretty much not credible. Fascinating that, 3 months after the election, or 3 months after he takes office, we finally get the truth out of the Biden administration. It's really pathetic. A little late. I guess better late than never, but still, it makes you ache because of the election results.
And
so many lies that got him elected.
Nary a peep.
Not a peep. They don't care. They're not covering it at all. All of a sudden, that Russian bounty story carries no interest to them. They don't have what? The Russian what? No, I don't even know that story. We're not going to look into it. Thanks for wondering, though. But we've got no interest in that.
Yeah, if you want to check out this thread that just lays it out so perfectly, get to Pat Unleashed on Twitter, and we will post it there because it's going to take a little while to go through it all, but it's well worth your time.
Prepare to be pissed, though, because it's going to hack you off. Yeah. And it should. It just really should. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. This will pick up your spirits, though. Following the news that the Phoebe Waller-Bridge had landed the female lead. Do you know who Phoebe Waller-Bridge is?
No. I know one Phoebe, and she's not even a real person.
Really?
She's a character
from
Friends.
She's landed the female lead in the next Indiana Jones movie. I'm not familiar with her at all. I don't know who that is. But Lucasfilm has found Harrison Ford's next co-star in Mads Mikkelsen. I don't know her either. Ever heard of Mads? Mads Mikkelsen?
Nope.
She's set to join the next installment. There is going to be an Indiana Jones 5. I guess because Indiana Jones 4 was so good.
I've heard good things.
About 5?
About 4. And that's actually a lie.
I've
heard nothing good about 4 whatsoever.
4 was one of the worst movies ever made. A big-time movie like that, where they spent a ton of money and it's done by a major film guy like George Lucas. Maybe the worst film under those circumstances ever done. Terrible.
Hold on a second.
Terrible.
And so Mads is what now? What were you saying, Rob?
Mads Mikkelsen is the bad guy from Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, the bad guy.
Bad guy from Doctor Strange.
He's also in Casino Royale.
Okay.
Yeah. See, you know all this.
Oh, sure. Who?
And that.
Hannibal?
Hannibal in the NBC series.
And
Okay.
then that, right?
All right. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I can't believe I forgot all of that. So there you go.
I can't believe I didn't know all that.
That's who
to
we
begin with.
who we're talking about there.
Yeah. All right. James Mangold is taking over directing reins from Steven Spielberg, who's still serving as a producer and is very much involved in various elements of the film, but he's not going to produce it. Kathleen Kennedy, Frank Marshall, and Simon Emanuel will join Spielberg as producers. John Williams, my gosh, is he still alive? John Williams?
He's still making music?
Yes.
Wow.
He's worked on every score in the 40-year-old franchise, including its iconic theme. Will also return as composer. How about that? Wow. What is he? 80?
89.
89. Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
The hope is to start production this summer. Mangold meeting with other talent for the roles in preparation for production. Plot details are still vague, but we're pretty sure that Indiana Jones is now wheelchair bound. And
do you have a ramp into this?
You got a ramp
pyramid?
into most of the pyramids or caves that he's going into.
Awesome.
So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun. So the movie is set to debut July 29th, 2022. So almost a year and a half from now. It's another major franchise Mickelson is boarding after coming on to the Fantastic Beasts movies. He replaces Johnny Depp as Grindelwald after Depp parted ways with that whole crew because of his troubles with what's-her-face.
I don't know the details on this, but apparently some police body cam footage has come out that proves his wife was lying.
What? Really?
Yeah.
No.
Again, there's
Really?
there's the limits of my knowledge of the Johnny Depp saga.
Well, you can't just throw that juicy piece out there and just let the wolves go after it.
Okay, well, let me see if I could find something here.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that because he was just found guilty or whatever of
Right.
abuse in Britain, right?
Here's the headline from the Daily Mail.
All right.
Exclusive. Johnny Depp says, oh, thank you, pop-up ad. Appreciate that. Johnny Depp says new police testimony and never-before-seen body cam footage showing a tidy apartment proves Amber Heard is lying about blowout fight where she claimed the actor trashed their penthouse and threw a phone at her face. So I guess the officer arrives and it's beautiful.
Pristine and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So obviously...
Well, he's fighting for his life because he's getting canceled everywhere. And so... Yeah, one of his last remaining allies was J.K. Rowling, whatever her name is.
On a river.
She apparently supported him. She said, look, he hasn't been convicted of anything, so I'm going to keep him. And she did for the last movie because these rumors were circulating back then. And she said, no, I'm not dropping him from the movie. Well, now they did. So... That's interesting. If he's got some new proof, maybe that some of what she said was a lie.
I guess just reading this big headline, it just probably throws the rest of her story into doubt. If the body cam footage shows a pristine apartment, and yet she said he trashed our apartment when he beat me up. Now, if you visit, like, say, my garage, right, then any number of things could have just happened in there. And obviously, this wouldn't have applied if the cop shows up to my garage. It's like, so what happened here? I mean, everything you can imagine vomited into my garage, officer. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
all right.
I mean, good luck. If he's innocent, I hope this helps.
It's really sad if he's innocent. I mean, he got what he deserved if he was really abusive to her. But if she lied about it, that'd be nice for that to be found out. Because his career's over, I would think. And he's deeply, deeply in debt. Guy, he's bought islands, like 40 homes
That's where
all
I got
over
in
the
trouble.
world.
I was doing okay financially until I started buying islands. I bought
you start going down that rabbit hole.
It was a fire sale that turned into an obsession. And now I don't know what to do with these islands that I can't even get to because of COVID.
Have you tried to sell them to anybody, or are you just gonna hang on
to it?
them?
I tried on eBay.
Okay.
Didn't get many bids.
All right. Well,
do you need an island?
Not right now. No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
We'll talk.
Got
after
this
the show.
cookie thing. Kexi.com.
What's that again?
Kexi.com. Keki.
Sounds good. Never heard of them.
See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.